The 1-0. Swinging a fly ball, well hit to left field. Way back goes this one. It's got a chance. It's going, and long gone up onto the railroad tracks. Welcome to the World Series, Juan Soto. Nationals tie the game at 2 as Juan Soto goes opposite field for a tape measure home run onto the railroad tracks.
Tape measure home run indeed. That was pretty cool last night from Juan Soto. But Bo, you want to see something even cooler? Let's take a look at this. This is from Johnny DePuglia. He posted this to his Twitter account. He's the Nationals Vice President of International Operations. Down in the Dominican, at the Nationals Dominican Academy, a bunch of youngsters were watching Juan Soto on this World Series stage. Here's their reaction, not to the home run, but to the 2-run double later on in the ballgame that gave the Nationals a 5-2 lead. This is amazing. That's just raw emotion right there from some young men that have belief that they can become the next Juan Soto. And Bo, after last night, maybe even believe it even more. Seeing a guy that was standing in that exact same position as them just a few years earlier. I had a text exchange with Johnny DePuglia earlier today. I asked him when the last time that Juan Soto was at the Dominican Academy down there. He said before he showed up to spring training. He was down there working out with those very young men that were in that video. That had to be an amazing moment for all of them, watching their buddy have that type of night that he did last night.
I can only imagine what it meant for them, because it sent chills down my spine when I first looked at the video. When you talk about inspiration, you talk about motivation, and you're talking about young kids having an opportunity to actually imagine themselves and put themselves into the moment. I've always said this: the untraveled eye cannot see. And the fact that they were able to witness one of their very own on the biggest stage there is in baseball have that type of success, Juan Soto do not realize the impact in which he is having on baseball for generations to come.
That was really cool stuff. A 20-year-old impressing some 16 and 17-year-olds, his buddies down there in the Dominican. All right, Bo, let's have a little fun here. Game that we're going to call A 20-Year-Old Said What. We're going to play some sound bites from Juan Soto after last night's game. The nation is learning about this young man, and everything that they're learning is positive, on the field and off the field. Here's the first soundbite from Juan Soto talking about facing Gerrit Cole, maybe the hottest pitcher on the planet right now, and how he made adjustments over the course of the game against that right-hander.
He's really good. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of good pitches today. I'm glad I faced him in spring training too, so I know how the ball gonna be, how hard it's gonna be, the curveball, the slider, everything. Because I faced him in spring training, and just try to. I got the report. He throw a lot of fastball. He likes to throw the fastball. I just sit there and wait for the fastball. For me, it was thinking the same thing. Be aggressive on the fastball and waiting for the fastball. He likes to throw it. He's showing the fastball everywhere. The first couple innings, he started throwing and throwing and throwing it. I just waiting for that. Just sit on it. After the first at bat, I was like, he's throwing really hard, but I just tried to sit back and hit the ball to the other way, and that hit me a little bit more. In the last couple of days, we've been working on it. Try to keep and stay in that way. Hit the ball to the other way, middle of the way. Try to hit the ball the deepest I can, and just hit it.
That's just some really mature stuff right there by a 20-year-old guy playing his first ever World Series game. But what did you make of that, what Juan Soto was saying there, and how he attacked Gerrit Cole throughout the course of last night's game?
Well, one, there's no secret why Juan Soto is one of the brightest young stars in our game. When you listen to him talk, what you're gonna hear is a young man who understands that hitting is all about adjustments. And last night, on the biggest stage that there is in baseball, he was able to show his ability to make adjustments. His first at-bat, Gerrit Cole basically said good morning with a fastball, good afternoon with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and then he read back and said good night with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball on the outer third of the plate. Juan Soto was able to bottle that information and make the necessary adjustment. He tries to slow him down with a breaking ball. He missed, and now the count is 1-0. And Juan Soto, again, making the necessary adjustment. He gets the same pitch that he struck out on in the first at-bat, and he deposits this ball on the train tracks in left field. Again, when you look at Juan Soto, this playoff, he has been getting a steady diet of secondary pitches, and throughout the course of the season, he's had to make the adjustment and basically only getting probably one pitch per at-bat to drive. And when you look at these secondary pitches, Juan Soto only gets in trouble when he gets pull happy. And the fact that he now is starting to use the whole field is why he's going to continue to have success. You look at this sequence, you get breaking ball in, backdoor breaking ball. Again, these are all secondary pitches where they're trying to slow his mind down. It's 3-0. You talk about respect. It's 2 men on base. He gets a 3-0 slaughter, and then he goes changeup. He sold out for the fastball there 3-1, but then had the ability to make the adjustment after selling out to the fastball and a 3-2 count to take a backdoor breaking ball and drive it over the left fielder's head for a 2 RBI double. You're talking about maturation. It takes some hitters years to figure that out. Juan Soto took 1 pitch to get it done.
Juan Soto, a big reason why the Nationals handed Garrett Cole his first loss since May 22nd. 25 straight starts without a loss. That string is broken for the veteran right-hander. Here's Juan Soto, the longest opposite field home run by a left-handed batter at Minute Maid Park over the last, 5 seasons now. Tops that list. I think 417 is selling that long ball way short. I'd put it closer at 470 than 417. But, Bo, let's talk about this now. Juan Soto talked about letting the ball get deep, and he's talked over the last week or so about adjustments that he's made with Kevin Long, the Nationals hitting coach, where they want him to try and make the contact point deeper in the zone. What does that allow Juan Soto to do, and how did we see an example of that last night?
Well, you saw a great example of when you look at his home run and you look at the 2-run double off the left field wall, that both of those hits were basically his ability to allow the ball to travel. When you talk about letting the ball travel, it does 2 things for Juan Soto. One, it slows him down so he doesn't get jumpy and get extended out in front of all the studied diet of breaking balls in which he's going to get. It also plays right into his strength, which is driving the ball to the opposite field. So when you think about allowing the fastball to travel, now his barrel has to travel a shorter distance. So now you're going to get greater impact instead of him trying to go out and get the ball. But then what it also does is allow him to wait back on secondary pitches. You saw that backdoor breaking ball that Cole threw to him. If he's out in front, it's a rollover ground ball to second base. But the fact that he let that ball travel and he was able to catch the break deep in the zone, he was able to drive it, get barrel to it, and drive it over the left fielder's head.
Great stuff by Juan Soto. Let's hear our next soundbite from him now, a 20-year-old wise beyond his years. Juan Soto discussing handling pressure deep into the postseason.
I've been working on that since my first day in the big leagues. Sometimes I just put gums in my mouth and try beating it. But most of the time, just take a deep breath and focus. It's just the pitcher and me. Everybody around, I forget about everybody around. It's just you and me, and you try to make me out. And that's how everything comes down, and try to enjoy it.
I'd say that approach is working out all right for him, Bo. This guy is not fazed by the moment.
Well, again, when you think about his ability to stay focused, he said something very key there. It's just the pitcher and him. And when you think about that type of laser focus, the good hitters have the ability to slow the game down. When I look at Juan Soto, I'm going to use a comp here. He reminds me of Bobby Abreu with just more power. And Bobby Abreu was the complete hitter with power to both sides of both ends of the field. And Juan Soto is Bobby Abreu with even more power because of his ability to drive the ball out of the ballpark the opposite way.
You look at the big moments for him already this postseason, Bo. 11 games. He had that game-winning knock off Josh Hader in the wild card game. He tied the game in Game 5 of the NLDS against the Dodgers. And now last night, 3 RBI in his first ever World Series game. Super impressive stuff from that young man. Let's hear from his teammates now discussing Juan Soto. They're not shocked about what this guy keeps on doing.
The kid's incredible. Have you ever seen an Oppo tank up there? I mean, they all count, I guess, but we all looked at each other and, like, I think all of us had to kind of check our chins because we were all jaw dropping. And then, you know, big double, and then he steals the bag later in the game. He's an incredible talent and even better person. That's why we, really love having him around. He's a good teammate and does all the good things, small things correctly.
He's special, man. He's a special player. Not just that, but he's a great teammate. He's a great kid, and the sky's the limit for him, man. I'm just so honored to be on his team and watch him grow. It's awesome.
No moment's too big for that guy. I mean, he's pretty impressive what he did today. I mean, to hit a homer like that, Oppo was pretty neat, and then another huge two RBI double off the wall. I mean, we have a tough lineup, and I'm glad he's right there in the middle.
That's absolutely incredible. Watching this kid, he just keeps raising the bar, doesn't he? He just keeps rising to the occasion, and he's still only 20 years old. He's been so fun to watch all season long. You think about the adjustments that he's made over the course of the postseason. And his approach is just so advanced. He's really fun to watch, and we're really lucky that he's on our team.
You can always tell the young guys that come up that can slow the game down. I always say that, and everyone kind of says, well, what does that mean? And it means, in any moment, at any time, you can take a deep breath and you don't try and do too much, and you just stay within yourself. And it sounds easy to do, but it's hard to do even in the regular season for 20, 21-year-old, whatever, him, Robles, all those guys. Like, I mean, to be able to do it on this stage, to be able to execute the plan that he had, he's got a chance to be okay.